Alright, boys and girls, welcome back to Free America. Today I want to show you something that I ran across while I was going through some of my gear. And it's kind of an interesting piece of equipment with an interesting history. So this is a model 1941 Spanish military. It's called a Machete Bayonet. Right, so as you can see, it's a bayonet. Right, you can probably tell it's a Mauser bayonet, which is typical, right, for Spain. The interesting thing about this is that it's a bolo, right? So you can tell this is how the knife was manufactured for the Spanish army. Now, despite the fact that it's a model 1941, this bayonet was most likely never used in any World War II combat operations. And that's important. I'll get that to that in a minute. So this bayonet was designed to replace, this machete slash bayonet, right, was designed to replace the model 1907. Sometimes they call it a short sword, but basically it's a longer version with a bolo blade. And both of these were designed for the artillery. So the reason for that is the heavier blade bolo style is for cutting brush, clearing lanes of fire, you know what I'm saying, cutting brush out of the way when you're setting up artillery pieces and so forth. That's what it's designed for. So unfortunately, because this bolo bayonet was so much shorter than the original 1907 bolo, it really is a pretty poor chopper, pretty poor piece of equipment for what it was supposedly designed for. Of course, it's still a bayonet, so they were trying to get, like a 2-in-1. These are made, as you can see, you can barely see this one. This one's pretty worn out. So it says Toledo, right? These are made in Spain. And it has the lock, you know what I'm saying, for the Mauser rifle. So these are relatively common. You can find them for between $75 and $100 all day, every day. But you've got a lot of people out there who are trying to sell them for a whole lot of money, and this is why. So during World War II, Spain stood up a volunteer division that went and fought with Germany, and that was called the Blue Division. Blue because the uniform shirts of the Phalangist, Nazi Spaniards was blue, right? So the Blue Division was pretty much decimated at the Battle of Leningrad. So the equipment that they carried, and I'll put some pictures in here. The equipment that they carried was different from this. I'll show you. Like I said, I'll put some pictures in. They carried standard German 98Ks with standard German 98K bayonets. But unscrupulous militaria dealers want to sell you these as some sort of super rare piece of equipment, which they're not. Now, the Model 44 bayonets, which were produced in Spain, were very similar to this. Nearly identical, except that they don't have this part, right? So they have the loop up here, but they don't have this part down here. the the heavy crossguard. Those are much rarer. Almost anything associated with the actual Spanish Blue Division of the German Army is extremely rare, right? And mostly because the unit got wiped out. So don't be taken in when someone tries to sell you this model 1941 Machete Bayonet, which is a Bolo, as a Blue Division bayonet. So when I first bought my first one of these, I was told it was a Blue Division bayonet. I thought that was cool. I did some research. I realized that was bogus. So it has a nice metal scabbard. And like I said, these are Toledo steel. It's not a bad piece of equipment. However, it's just not quite heavy enough, long enough to do what it was designed for. So, interesting piece of equipment. And like I said, if you see one out there and you decide you want to pick one up for your collection, or just because you really want to give yourself a workout and try to chop things that it won't chop, then just be careful. Don't get taken in. Otherwise, thanks for joining me today. God bless America.